You ready? Take it live. All right. Going live.
All right.
We is live. All right. So what do we got to babble on about? Anything?
For babbling, not particularly. I've had a pretty dull last week.
Busy again real soon, I think. The busyness is just around the corner again.
But I don't want it to be. I'm enjoying the dullness. It's quiet and, I slept.
Sleep.
Yeah.
It must happen too.
Ever notice that when it gets really quiet, though, you end up sleeping way more? It's like you're stocking up sleep for later when you can't sleep. I know that technically we can't do that, but it sure does feel like we end up banking sleep for later, doesn't it?
It does. It does seem like we're banking sleep for seeing how. But for the most part, we've got hopefully really good sound out. And I can actually hear myself in monitors now. Sure, I know that it's working okay. Unfortunately, Amber doesn't get to hear the sound.
Squirrel!
No, I don't.
Because we changed out my mixing board here to cure all of the sound issues we had, the squeals, the bumps, the everything else. And we've got that cured. What we don't have now is we don't have the sound feeding back to the meet window that we use for communication. And that's because, well, for some reason, all of them out there in computer guru land figure that just because your computer's producing sound doesn't mean we want to collect it and share it with people. I mean, go figure.
There's gotta be a way. It's probably just so well hidden in the depths of everything that we just haven't found it yet. Because there's gotta be a way. I mean, how could you have a meeting thing without the ability to play random sounds?
You can always do a search for something like send, what do we call it? We call it desktop audio to Google Meet.
Yeah, we could do that.
You probably find that it's a convoluted way to do it.
Yeah. I have a feeling that's a rabbit hole that will take a few hours to dive down fully. Oh, one of the chickens is gone broody again.
Stripe?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's time to get her some eggs.
Not yet, because she's gone broody like 4 times, but then she gets bored of being broody or something, and she
Oh.
wanders off. So
Okay.
I'm waiting to see if it's actually gonna stick
Well,
this
you
time.
gotta wait till she collects a couple eggs.
She's done that a couple times, and then she just wanders off and gives up.
Oh, she wanders off and gives up? Okay, she's not
Yeah.
fully broody yet. She's really
Not fully, but she's practicing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing that our tiniest chicken is currently giving us our biggest egg.
Yes, I know.
She's like,
huge egg. It's like a double A extra large egg coming out of a
yeah.
lovely chicken.
And she's like half the size of all the other chickens. See, it's just proof the short ones always do the best work. Hey, could she be considered a pocket chicken?
I guess. I guess.
But this last couple times that we've gone to collect eggs, she's been getting kind of cranky at us, and like we have to lift her up, move her over. First, we hypnotize her, lift her up, move her over,
Mhm.
and she manages to shake off the hypnotism pretty fast now. So she comes right back over.
Oh, cool.
So I'm thinking maybe it's almost time to get her babies, but I'm not sure because we're still. I mean, in May it does get warmer, but
Yeah.
might still have some low drops still.
Yeah. Well, it could be. Oh, look. Somebody over at News Bytes created some. Here's how you can share Google audio on Google Meet.
Oh, cool.
Now they're trying to do it the same way you did it, was by present now button and use the Google Chrome tab.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's not quite right. Right idea, wrong way.
Yeah, you have to play the only way everyone seems to describe is play it all in a Google Chrome tab.
Well, I mean, I guess it would make sense that they block everything off except their own thing.
Yeah, well,
Is there even any way to get the sounds from your system into a Google Chrome tab?
I have no clue.
Because if there is, that would solve the issue right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just sort of skimming through it because we got time to kill and we need to find out a couple of things, see what it is. Keep running into these ones here. Just share it with the Google Chrome tab. Oh, here's one. Audio interface. This might.
Hmm. I didn't see anything about audio interface.
Oh. Oh, well, I can always try using my virtual audio thing I set up here and route it through. That's not for right now. I'll have to try that later.
Well, it's definitely something to look forward to trying because I have a feeling that when we actually get in there, we start testing out all these different possible ways, we're going to have some really entertaining effects.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of things I wanna do. I have a interview company for coming up for the show. We'll have a second. We'll have an interview show coming out real soon.
Oh, excellent. That's exciting.
It's been a while since I had anyone reach out to me for an interview.
Hmm.
The end of May is when I'm booked to record them, so that'll be kind of useful. So, how's our sound coming through over there on the ultra, whatever, alter ego?
Well, your alter ego says we're sounding good.
That's what's important, is the sound come good and the sound of me come good. You know, I got to listen back to a show to hear how the sound plays back. I want to see if I've finally solved some of the high and low.
Also, I'm just using the mic on my headset, so it'll be good for me to hear what I sound like just using the headset today.
Yeah.
Trying all kinds of different things we are.
Well, trying to improve the sound to the point where people don't get that when listen to this crap.
Mhm.
You know? As I've known for years, it's like I've had really, really good sound over the years, and then I've had long periods of time where I just couldn't get the sound right no matter what I tried for some reason. It seemed like somebody came in and rewrote all the sound out of programs and had to figure out how to adjust for them. Swear to God, every time I get everything working perfectly, someone comes along, you know what, we should tweak this. That throws everything out. Updates, man. Why I hate updates. I think updates should be held for one reason only. They held only for if they've improved something so good that it actually works and they've tested to the nth degree and for security. Only reasons why. They shouldn't just keep, oh, let's update. No, you know what? We got a nice new cool pink button. Let's put that in today. I swear that's what most updates are.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You know, most irritating. Okay, well, that being said, it's music time. Let's let the music carry us away. I'll let you know when we're all done.
Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In the search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine? Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In our search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at a crossroads, joker's doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Alrighty then. That's it. It's time.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress Plugins A to Z, not Z.
It's episode 626, and we have plugins for Whispering Free with Darkify Options and WordPress News, all coming up on WordPress Plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress Plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery overlooking beautiful southern Vancouver Island. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber overall.
And we've got a usual great show for you today with a couple minor things. You know, we've hopefully our sound is coming through fantastically now. We've had some upgrades to our soundboard mixers. We've got one minor glitch and can't hear sounds played yet. Quite figured that one out. So we'll have some oddball cues so that she'll know not sounds. Other than that, everything else pretty good. You know, it's springtime is in the air. It gets warm, cold, rain, 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 sun, rain, rain. Now that we're heading towards May real quick. Flowers to bring May flowers. And with all of that being said,
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
All right. Welcome to episode 626. Don't let your plugins rust. We've got a couple of great in-depth plugins to cover for you. Some recent news in both the WordPress world and the tech world in general. And some awesome WordPress tips. Let's good to be back for another show, and I hope everyone out there is keeping well and healthy. Because, like Dad was just saying, hot, cold, that can really mess with your system. So make sure you get that vitamin C into you. Get out and get some vitamin D into you while the sunshine is still shining, and don't let yourself get totally soaking wet. Because, well, my teenager did that. Now she's sick again. Go figure. Couple of reminders before we start the show today. One, our show is every other week. Remember, it starts about 12:30 p.m. Pacific time with a pre-stream starting about 12:15 p.m. Pacific time. Pre-stream is where we twiddle with the dials and knobs and just warm up our voices. You can join us there for some good conversation and some entertainment. Our show notes for each episode can be found at WP A-Z.com. The newest show notes will be up within 24 hours and on our front page. And don't forget, this is a value for value show, and you are a big part of its creation. You are our producers, and we need you to help us to produce. So get on out there, hit some like button, share an episode or two. Let people know that you helped to produce the longest running WordPress Plugins podcast. That's it for reminders. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the show for some pretty awesome conversation. Got those questions and answers coming right up. Do we have a sound for artists? I can't remember.
We do not have a sound. Artist.
Artifacts, eh? All right. Well, our artist today is Sir Rogue the Tavern, Baron of the Cowichan Valley. Now, when I looked at this, the first thing that popped into my head was a door lock from the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, I didn't even notice the spider web. You're right. There is a spider web behind
Kind
it.
of hard for the spiders to build their webs at the bottom of the ocean.
Hey, what if there's sea spiders? We don't really know what's in the ocean. There might be sea spiders. They might. Maybe they spin it out of, I don't know, something.
At any rate, I just thought it was a cool one. I had
It
rust.
is.
I had rust on my mind because of a comment that the show I was looking at. The molecule that we tend to cause, depend on oxygen, but oxygen causes iron to iron in our. So we're not aging. We're rusting.
I like that. That's awesome.
It was like, and of course, I heard it like a day or two when I was out running yesterday. So that popped in my head, and as I'm running, I have time to analyze it. I analyze it.
You're right. We are rusting. All right, on to the news.
All right, news time.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! And now the news with Amber.
So for news this week, we have WordPress vulnerability report from Solid WP. I keep wanting to call them iTunes, but yeah. So from Solid WP, in this report, there are 358 vulnerabilities that were publicly reported. So far, 312 patches have been made for them. The 45 plugins needing patching up are up at the top, so it makes it easy to figure out what to pay attention to. Be sure to follow the link and have a look through for your own or your client sites. Always good to look through that. Next up, we have WordPress vulnerability report from PatchStack. So these guys always have the latest information on what is going on regarding the latest vulnerabilities. So at the time of writing this, the most recent issue was 3 days ago, and it was a cross-site scripting vulnerability on filterable portfolio. Now, you can change between plugins, themes, and WordPress core. So you don't just get the plugins, you get them all. So it's a very useful site when you figure out how to utilize it and go through the dashboard. I highly recommend people start looking at that. If you look at both of these sites regularly, you will not be missing anything important. Next up, we have researchers highlight ransomware. Sorry, I will be right back.
Oh. Take that phone call. Hey, Reese. All right. Well, I guess that you want. Up when. pop-up windows, there's a very good chance you might end up in places covered up your.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, that basically does cover it up, like, what they did is they actually went into this browser, and they didn't just, like, test out ransomware. What they did is they actually took the browser's capability to do updates and everything and to create the algorithm for you, and they use that against the browser. So, by using the browser's own files against it, they were able to get into your browser. So, um apparently, the Chrome, the Google Chromium-based browsers are the worst for it. Other browsers have a lot more protections against it, and he also goes through and talks about how to prepare your browser and how to protect your browser, so yeah. And unfortunately, because they force updates onto you and there's so many of them, people don't think twice before they go ahead they say, "Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead, just update." Oh,
Shut Chrome off, it updates off.
okay, so
It's
huh,
it's
that's
not it's not
interesting.
like Firefox. It's Firefox pop update. No, I ignore this for updated.
Yeah.
Chrome, shut Chrome down, automatic.
Oh, how kind of it. Well, if that's the case, then you definitely shouldn't be clicking on anything that says it's an update on the Chromium base.
Yes, if it's based or Chrome, never because
Now that you said that I've experienced that loads. I just never really thought about it because 'cause I'd open it and then, like, a new window would be like, "Hey, here's what's new about your browser." I never even paid attention to it. I just close it. So next up, we have new Brockwell malware takes over Android devices, steals data. Yep.
problems out.
Yeah. So this new Android banking Trojan, they've named it Brockwell. I have to say, I like the name. It captures every event on the device from touches and information displayed to text input and the applications that the user launches.
Wow.
Yeah. So, before it was only really able to collect the information that you touched onto the screen. Now it's like taking screen captures. It's getting everything. So there is no way around it if it ends up on your phone. Um, the way that it's being delivered is through fake Google Chrome update that is shown while using the web browser. Yep.
Hey, we got cool for you.
Yeah, don't update. Do
Don't
not update anything on your phone because especially on your phone, even Android, every time that you do a full update of your phone, everything on your phone is gonna update. And even if you have the option, in your settings turned off where you don't let your apps update, the ones that came with your phone, they're all gonna update every time you have to update your phone. Whether or not you tell it that it can, it will anyway. It does. Yeah, I do that too, but, like, the apps that come with your phone, when your
I
phone
never update.
yeah, see, that is one thing that's really bothering me about my phone. I used to be able to not have to update my phone, I could just leave it, but recently, my phone has started randomly update on me. If I put off the update for too long, it's like Microsoft, it just does it for me. Yeah. So, very
Apple's
frustrating.
new.
Mhm. It's funny that iPhone 8 is considered very old. That's awesome. So, the next thing we have is Nespresso domain hijacked in phishing attack targeting Microsoft logins. So, the cybercriminals are exploiting an open redirect vulnerability for phishing attacks that impersonate Nespresso to steal Microsoft logins. Be careful. I'm not entirely sure what Nespresso is. I forgot to look that up. I've never actually heard of it. Have you? All right, well, let's look up Nespresso real quick because I meant to look that before the show and I just kind of skipped my mind. What is Nespresso? No, that's an espresso. This is Nespresso. Okay, all I'm getting is coffee machine, so I don't know.
So there you go. That's what it is. It's a coffee machine.
Okay, if maybe it is just a coffee machine. I'm not sure. If one of our listeners uses Nespresso, which is apparently a domain, uh,
Uh-oh.
well, I actually Nespresso domain.
Hopefully you
Okay,
can hear
so
me now.
yeah, okay. This is very interesting. The domain was hijacked, so be careful. If you don't recognize the place or if you are getting a strange prompt that you don't really understand why you're getting the prompt to do the login, don't do it. What you want to do, if you get like a text or an email or anything and it's a strange thing telling you that you need to log in immediately for this reason or that and you don't really get it, don't click the link. Go separately on your own, open a new browser, open a new window, and put in the site manually, the site address of where you're supposed to log in. Go there, use your login there, and see if you have any notices in your account. That's the way to check because if you click on any of these links, you're likely going to be connected to these phishing scams. You don't want to do that. And the last thing I have here is millions of gamers help advance microbiome research, which I thought was just cool. 4.5 million gamers around the world have advanced medical science by helping to reconstruct microbial evolutionary histories. Really interesting how video gaming can help to create things like this. And apparently, by playing a popular game called Borderlands 3, they help to improve on the results produced by the existing programs used to analyze DNA sequences and to lay down the groundwork for improved AI programs that can be used in the future. I don't really understand how that works, but I think it's really cool and awesome.
Yes and no. Hopefully I can be heard now.
Oh,
Hopefully everyone's hearing me. Maybe I turned away from them.
yeah, hopefully you heard.
Well, I got 4 monitors here, so I'm looking at different monitors, so my face turns. Try to keep happens.
Thanks to a pretty amazing person, we have a lot of extras today. I actually had a hard time picking and choosing what to put in our regular news day. The things I chose actually seem pretty important. You'll want to go through our extras though, because we've got a lot of information about cyber issues, hacking issues, web browsers, science stuff, and a few more WordPress things. So go through our extras today.
Oh, I would say it's all right. First up, one I have for you today is called Link Whisper. This here is an excellent plugin if you're working on building your internal linking structure website. And in the process, while you're writing your content, you want to link to other articles. You can spend all the time you want trying to remember them, listing out what you've written previously, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this plugin helps save you a ton of time. What it does for you is once you get it set up, you go in and make a couple of minor configurations to it to, tell it how many links to look for, maybe you want to limit it to categories or but then once you get it all set up, you go in, you start creating and writing your content, and it goes through and it searches as in your content as you're writing for articles that are related to down in other sites. Works fairly nice. It is what they call AI out there for hunting it all down. This is the free version of the plugin available. It does a fantastic job. The premium version, what it does for the premium version is saves you the problem of manually creating the links. Because what it does is it puts another data box in your editor and it fills that data box with suggestions and you got to copy. That's what I found it. So the free version or the premium version, from what they've said, allows it to, hey, here's a suggestion for you. You want it inserted. So other than that, fantastic plugin. It seems to be working really great. I've added it site that I'm building out content on at the make it easier to create links. As we all know, internal links are very important to search engine. It helps them find their way around your site, and it helps give boosts by your internal content link. All those little bits. So if you're looking for a nice, easy way to help build that internal linking structure on your site, go check out Link Whisper Free. And I currently give this one 5 Dragon. Okay.
Awesome. That actually sounds really cool. I'm totally snagging that up and putting it on our site. So next I have WordPress tips. I'm sure there's a weeb sound that will come.
Oh yeah, we need you.
We would love to hear some tidbit tips from some of our producers out there. What did you figure out by breaking something? Or what did you need to learn or to help someone else who broke something? You can send these tidbits in to me at amber@wppro.ca. So, and they don't have to be for making sites and beginner's tips. This just seems to be the 2 easiest things that I can think up. So I always have something to say on these. That's why these are the 2 basic ones. I would love any tidbits from any aspect, any thought, direction that you can or willing to share. For making sites, if your chosen profession is to make sites and you don't have any clients at the moment, take the suddenly free time you have and go all nitpicky on your own site. Go play with those different things on your site that you've been thinking about. Maybe update that one page. It still is the wrong date and time and cost of everything, or go play around with your header. See if you can change it up, make it prettier. See if you can get your site faster. Test out new things. Just go and check out things. Or for beginners tips, if you are working on busy work and you don't really feel like you're really doing much of any good, enjoy the slower moving time you're experiencing and maybe start on your hobby site, because everyone has a hobby site. I have a hobby site. Everyone has one. Whether or not you ever finish it is another thing, but you have that hobby site that you work on and you'll probably restart it every time you actually get some free time. But working on a hobby site is not a bad thing either, because your hobby site is where you're going to figure out what works, what looks good and ugly, and all those things. So hobby sites are really good to work on, and it's not just, and that's not wasting time. If you do go work on a hobby site, that's actually learning time for you. You are refining your skills, so don't feel bad about working on a hobby site. And my plugin. So my plugin is Darkify, WordPress Dark Mode plugin. Enhance your website's visibility in low light. So for anyone who's been listening for a bit, you'll know I really like dark mode. Dark mode is a lot easier on my eyeballs. And I don't know if it's easier on everyone's eyeballs. I know that, like, for instance, my dad can't handle dark mode, but a lot of people out there do seem to appreciate dark mode. And Darkify is pretty awesome. It allows for dark mode in both the back and the front end. Although, unlike a lot of others, they actually have a variety of color palettes that are already preset for you to choose from. There are 8 of them in total. And they let you personalize what colors you actually want to use for the front end, which I thought was just awesome. Like, you can pick and choose which colors you want out of the palettes, which is pretty cool. This plugin still seems pretty new at the moment. I mean, after all, it's still got that new plugin smell lingering around it a bit, but it works beautifully with the current version of WordPress and the slightly out of date WordPress, both just fine. Once you install and activate this, you will find Darkify on your left-hand menu area. Clicking on that will take you to your plugins dashboard, where you can choose your color palettes, whether you want to set a toggle on the front page to give the option of flipping back and forth between dark mode, or you can just set a timer so that, now here's where I'm a little fuzzy. I think that it'll go for the local time of whoever is logging in, but it might also be going off of your time. I'm not really sure how that works, but you set a time that it goes into dark mode and it'll automatically go into dark mode. And for the back end, it doesn't really seem like there's a color palette option for the back end, but you can turn the dark mode on in the back end by flipping the toggle in the upper right hand corner. Now, one of the biggest issues I've found with working in dark mode in the back end is going to do something like plugin updates and not being able to properly read the information on the plugin area. Like I would go and I'd be looking at the plugin dashboard and I couldn't really tell what this plugin needs to be updated, that little notification. I couldn't actually tell what plugin it was talking about because they changed the colors so much. It all just mixed together and it was hard to separate the plugins and the information. It was no good. But with this one, there's no issue at all. They didn't make it so different from the original color setup that it's all mixed together and become one now and totally flat and just dark. They actually kept it so that you can still see the different plugins, different information. It's very useful. I was able to actually do some work in the back end other than just writing, because a lot of the dark modes that I've used, I can use it for writing content, and that's really about it because I can't really read what I need to see in the back end. I really like this one. They didn't screw that up. There's also an option to darken the images on the front end, and it doesn't destroy your images. I've seen this option to darken the images on the front end before in other dark modes, and they do this really weird thing where they like invert the colors, or they just put this haze over it that's so dark you can't even see the image anymore. It just didn't work. But with this one, it actually looks good. I had to turn off the dark mode a few times in order to really see the difference between the images being darkened and not darkened. I'm really impressed. They did a really good job with this one. I highly recommend you go and check out this plugin. It is completely free at the moment, and it's a lot of fun to play with. I mean, some of the color palettes you can choose from are kind of bright, like green color palette for dark mode. That's just kind of cool. Definitely worth checking out. Just type in Darkify when you go searching. I rate this at 5 dragons. Yeah, for those of us who have the titchy eyeballs with bright colors, it's a good dark mode. So, miscellaneous announcement from us and our producers. We don't really have anything from our producers at the moment. I'm sure we will in the future, though. If anyone out there has an announcement like Meetup or that they're going to be on stage at a WordCamp, let us know and we'll add it here to get your news out to the world for you. What we do have here is some links for you. WordCamp Buffalo, New York, USA is happening May 4th to 5th. WordCamp Sylhet, Bangladesh is happening May 10th to 11th. WordCamp Porto, Portugal is happening May 17th to 18th. WordCamp Vigo, Galicia, Spain, I don't know if I said that right, is happening May 25th, 26th. And WordCamp Montclair, New Jersey is happening June 1st. So there are more WordCamps that are listed out. If you want to see the entire list, you can follow the link here in our show notes and click on more WordCamps. If you're interested in finding a WordPress meetup somewhere around the world, you can check out the link here in our show notes. And don't forget to keep checking back. We might hear from our producers pretty soon. It's getting warmer out. People are getting more active. Remember us to help get your news out there for you. And if you feel like reaching out to us, we do have a real brick and mortar address where you can send in art or notes or letters or anything. We also have our virtual addresses up here just because we want to be helpful and make it as easy as possible. And today's plugins we covered were...
I covered it. It gives you auto link suggestions. Right. Recording does I did. And it helps with creating contextual and and also it does work with products. And I gave it a 5 dragon ring.
And I covered Darkify WordPress Dark Mode plugin. Enhance your website's visibility in low light by Theme at Atelier. It's quite a mouthful of a title. I like it. It's fun. We'll have to do that thing where we try to find the longest title possible again. So this is, it has front end and admin panel dark mode. Dark mode can be controlled with keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. If you you can actually set up the keyboard shortcuts for it, I believe, or they're already preset. Either way, there's keyboard shortcuts that can be utilized. There's a toggle switcher available for both ends. I rated it at 5 dragons.
All right.
It's question and answer time with John and Amber.
All right. So if anybody out there has any questions they'd like to have asked here on the show, you can send them in to me at amber@wppro.ca. We'll see if we can stump my dad. How long has this been now? 3 years and I still haven't managed to stump you?
A lot of knowledge running around.
Hemdian said, I'm only here for the long titles. So, first question. Why do you think social media is so important for SEO?
Basically, anyway, it's because of the links back. If they're other people,
Okay.
better you. Well, I think I'm sure there's other reasons. I don't have in this guessing.
All right. My next question is, if the most important thing for SEO rankings is to have a site made by humans for humans, should we be worried that the AI generated sites are starting to get more rankings?
Yes. And no, they're starting to actually Google update take down all of the problem with AI is
Ah,
AI like long word or can't remember how to spell it,
like hippopotamonstrossus quipdaliophobia?
something.
I actually do know how to spell that. It means fear of long words. I've always thought that's hilarious. That means something entirely different.
Ever. But anyway, the thing is that the AI generated content did start to retire, but I read about it. There was a new update that would rank AI. Now the problem is there are some humans that write that, and their stuff may dumb down, cutting in and out,
Yeah.
filters. Oh, well, good thing. Thank. Talked. I know. Probably would work a little better. Hopefully.
Ah. Yeah, see, I can't hear it when that happens. You sound normal to me.
Yeah, well, it's a cutting in and out that gets transferred. All right, let me know if it has any impact, folks. Get it?
Also, you're gonna have to answer that all over again because nobody got it.
Well, the thing is, well,
The
okay.
problem with AI is AI is.
Well,
That's clear.
The problem with AI is too perfect. It writes perfect, long, et cetera, et cetera. I said there are some humans that can do a thing, that can write like that. I'm being directed, phone texting. Okay, and anyway, it's what it is, and we're going to have to learn to deal with it. Google, and all the other search engines are going to do what they can to eliminate AI from being ranked highly and keep the content for humans ranked. The problem is more and more people are incorporating AI into their creates more problems. So, and the AI is just better sentence. we are. I've used AI times to help fill in some, but I take what AI gives me, and it's picking up.
Mhm.
But not everyone does. They just cut and paste it. I don't know if we should be too worried about the AI content taking over on SEO. It's
Okay.
it's going to be a problem for a while until the algorithms catch up to it. Still
All right.
cutting in and out. Try a little bit.
Now I've got that song stuck in my head. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
All right. Well,
'Cause it's a really long word.
I just
I I wonder, have you been cutting out the whole time? Tell us,
I
people, has he been cutting out the whole time?
anyway. Let's.
That's true. Although, at least we're kind of entertaining.
All right.
I've got 2 more after
I
the,
know, but that covers
yeah.
all that. You got. All right. Like we've all handled. Oh,
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsa-z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A-Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsaz.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsaz.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsA-Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
all right. That's all done. I like to comment there. AI with the voice samples. Yeah, that's a problem right now. But there's also another trend that's happening, and what that other trend is happening is when people get caught on a hot mic, they're going, "It wasn't me. Somebody took my voice samples and created that. That was AI."
So,
Oh,
something kinda cool is right at the end there, I heard the sound.
heard the sound.
What did you do?
I muted myself.
You muted yourself. So if you're muted, I can hear the sounds.
Test that. I'll mute myself and play a sound.
Okay.
Squirrel!
No, I didn't hear anything that time.
Well, I don't know why you heard the sound suddenly, but weird.
Okay, well, I got to hear sort of a sound. Anyways, my next question for you is, I remember a few years ago, we first started using the AI generate posts and everything, and they were horrible. They pretty entertaining, but horrible. But now we can even get some decent humor out of the AI writers. Do you think the writers might need to start worrying a little regarding the AI taking their gigs, or do you think they're going to be working fairly harmoniously?
Maybe. Writers might start using AI and pawning it off as their writing. While everyone else is plagiarizing.
Oh, that's true. It's going to be interesting when they decide whether or not it's going to be allowed to
Well,
do that.
I caught a small snippet of an article yesterday. Oh, it was in Twitter. It was my Twitter feed. Some girl bitching because the professor ran her article through an AI detector. 20% of it because
Hmm.
she wrote the whole thing herself. So these are things that are happening. AI is going to make so everyone knows it's not right out.
Yeah, we need a lot more. We need a lot more storage space before we can find that spark to throw
Not just
into it.
storage space.
Yeah.
Quantum computers are the thing that's going to be. My baseline for a stuff. Go back and watch the beginning to end, the entire series. 7 seasons. They had the initially other one. They needed a brand new chip to where we're at now. The new chip. They're working on those.
Hemdian said cutoff seems related to volume. That's why he thinks it
Oh,
might be an audio filter with a threshold set wrong, but he could be wrong.
oh, could be. Oh, okay. I thought he said it was. Do have a.
But while you're muttering about that, I do have one last thing for you.
What's that?
You can think it over. Do you think the Google bots will start giving preferential rankings to the sites that have AI writing for them, like in a solidarity kind of gesture?
Who knows, man? Maybe the robots will unite against.
I'm kind of thinking about this, like, you know, the AI posts and stuff. They're getting pretty good rankings here and there. And well, what if the Google bots go, "Hey, I understand your language way better. I think I'll give you the better rankings here."
Well, it's kind of like when they threw those two AIs several years started.
Yeah, because it was just easier for them.
Way easier. They created their can't.
Yeah,
They had to
using
shut. They had
every
to.
language available.
They had to shut it down because it.
Yeah.
No, there is the possibility of Arc merging. That does it. Cat in a have a,
He wants out. He darted in when grandma left, and now he's realized that he's stuck inside. So yeah, you're hearing my daughter's cat named Ghost. He's a great tabby.
no, yeah. We've got a lot of problems. Big problem right now is they're so busy. They try to make money. Time
Mhm.
the quest for gold. Quest initially innovation starts start to stifle.
Just think Tesla. Original Tesla, not the Tesla cars today.
Bullet.
Yeah, there we go.
Bullet. One who gave us our is And God knows what other innovation. All
Well,
right.
it is a thing to think about.
All right. Well, hopefully sound much better and change those. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Checking 1, 2. Well, I'm watching levels talking. Cutting out. Have
I
to.
suppose I can hear you just fine, but
I'm talking to the onlines because got some problem. See if this helps it. Checking 1, 2. Body there. Check. Okay, see if I hit it smartly, pops it. Check 1, 2. Check, check, check. Check toe, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Did I have a whole bunch of cutting out and then now is it all working well? I'll listen to the last 5 minutes of the show to verify it myself, but I think that's what happened because I was watching it.
hmm.
Yeah, okay. Hopefully now it's working. I did notice that myself, and so I've been having problems because I had the threshold because I misunderstand how this bloody noise gate work. It says open threshold. You set it anywhere from minus 100 dB to 0. And I had it set up near 18, thinking, well, you need the decibels to open it. And I also had the close threshold the same. So it works in reverse. So because I'm not a total geek,
You're
here's
not
a
the right
check
kind of
and
geek.
testing. Yeah, well, I need to spend some more time on audio stuff, but audio is so dry. It's like walking through the Sahara Desert. So hopefully it's all working well now. All right. Well, we got to wait for all the people out there to catch up in the last 35 seconds or 40 seconds of the show so I can maybe get some feedback sentences and see how it goes. And okay, so we need to pop that out, get rid of that, get rid of that. All right. How'd it going, folks? Is it working well?
Hopefully.
I don't know. I'm waiting for sentences to appear in the comments. You know, we'll babble on a little bit more and see what happens. I mean, we've only been babbling for just over an hour and 15 minutes, so hey, we're good.
Well, this is a special area where you have to come to the YouTube, and so yeah.
Sounding better again. I saw a
Oh,
YouTube
good.
video recently on how to. Hey, if you ever find that link, email it to me, john@wppro.ca. Oh yeah, I'm certain I can go. I'm certain I can go on the YouTubes and find it all. That's probably how I set it up to begin with.
Probably.
And of course, I hardly touch it, and whatever information I do initially, once it's all set, I assume it's going to stay that way, which is the wrong thing to do with computers because you have to constantly check on things with computers, which is really a pain in the neck.
hmm
I miss the early days of computers when I could set something up and it would work for years. Now it's you set it up and it might work for days or weeks, sometimes months, but
Yeah,
rare.
that's the weird thing because like growing up, it was I set things up and then I didn't have to bother changing things or redoing things until I moved my desk.
Mm-hmm. And that was pretty much the only time I had to change things was if eventually when Windows would get overloaded and you had to reformat Windows back in the days when it was, Windows 98 and Windows 2000, you had to periodically reformat Windows and they still have the same problem with the how's it called? Database. It's basically a database of the database getting cluttered. They still have the problem, but they've managed to fake it so it works slightly better than it used to. So you don't have to reformat your computer every couple of years.
I think it would be really entertaining and also really awesome, if Windows came out with a throwback where it looks like Windows 98 but is modern.
Well,
I think that would be
I
pretty
didn't
cool.
really care. I liked the display there. The one I liked most was Windows 6. That was my favorite, or Windows 7. Windows 7. No, it was Windows 7 because they skipped 6. It was Windows 7. I like that the most.
Yeah?
Windows 6. No, Windows 6, Windows 7. I can't remember now. I like that one the most. And then when they introduced Windows 10, they changed and they hid. And the worst thing they've done since Windows 10 was they hid all of the controls. You know, for those of us that like to actually have control over, say, setting up an email account, no, just push the magic button. It will work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
We promise you, it'll work. Every time it'll work. No, it doesn't work. Please give me the controls. Where did you put them? They still exist. All those tools still exist. You just got to really dig for them to find them.
You know what? All this hiding and like doing everything all these new ways makes me think of tying a string to my tooth and slamming the door, trying to get my wiggly tooth out.
Yeah, that's sort of the
That's
same thing.
what I think of every time, because pressing the magic button does not work, just like tying the string to my tooth did not work.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't work, but everyone promises it'll absolutely work. And it hurts. It hurts the brain.
Yes, I know. All right. On that happy note, I think we'll have a little music to carry us on out. Thanks, MDN, and my alter ego for helping sort out the problem of the sound so that we can have a great sound for everybody. All right. Little music, carry us out.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread. We're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
All righty, folks. That's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Oh my god, that is amazing!
Oh no.